Hello, so Signash fan back, and this time we have Kevin Ryan. Now, Kevin Ryan has been highly requested on my YouTube channel, so I decided to do his guide next. Now, this character is absolutely insane. He is a brawler type, he has a command grab, has very good frame data up close, and has some of the sickest mix-ups in the entire game. Very dangerous, can two-touch your life bar. Man, I have many words to say about this character, but let's get into it. So for starters, let's talk about his normals. Now, he definitely has some stubbier normals, but his B does reach pretty far. His A is very stubby. His B reaches a little far. His standing C is very good, but it is not special cancelable. So you cannot special cancel it, but you can super cancel his normal. And his stand D is like a standing roundhouse that can hit people for like jumping or trying to jump out. Like if somebody short hops at you, he has that option to use his stand D. So for crouching buttons, primarily with Kevin Ryan, you are going to be relying on his crouching B, which has a lot of range, so you can go into an easy confirm off the crouching B, and his crouching C, which is a very good poke in a closer range. You can shimmy with it because it will get a reward if you dash in after a wild punish. Now, most of his normals are going to be more for up close and personal situations, so I'm going to show some of those. His close standing A is a lot better, as you see, 4 frames plus 2 on hit. Stand B is literally one of the god buttons because it goes into his standing C. That is a link. Standing C is very good when feinted, and his stand D is very good when feinted, as you see, plus 7. So again, he can link a close standing C off that and go into a break combo. So his up close game is very scary. I'm going to show those normals on block. +1, +3. If you feint this, it is +1, and if you feint this, it is +3. So very good frames up close. Let's talk about one of his command moves, which he has a forward B, like this 2-hitting kick. It is -2 on block. You can hyper defend it because it is a double hitting attack, and the main purpose of this move is for it to hit because it leaves him close enough, +4, and then he can actually just tick into a command grab. So that is the primary usage for the move. So if you do it up close, you can get an instant like strike throw. So a very good pressure tool, and it has some range on it because it steps him forward a little bit. So you can kind of whiff punish with it outside of range and get into that range and go for some mix-ups. His other command move is going to be the sneak step. So down kick, and he will start just crawling on the ground. Now he has 2 options from this, actually 3, because he can cancel it if you just hit B again. But he's going to have 2 attacks out of this. One is going to be a low strike that is -7 on hit. So that one you're not going to do too often, but then he has an overhead that's very good, +3 on hit, and it's going to be his primary Oki setup that's going to give him a lot of combos, because if you hit it meaty, it's much more plus, and you can actually link a close C off of a meaty overhead. But we will get into his Oki much later in the video. Alright, so first and foremost, let's get into his special moves. So he has a quarter circle back A and a quarter circle back C. Now, this move isn't going to be too great on block because it is -6 and the overhead is -8. Now, these moves are going to be better to use from a spaced situation because even though they're still minus, you're going to have that space in between you, so a person isn't going to be able to punish you because of the distance. So these are much better used in space rather than up close. You can cancel these if you hold the button and you press any of the kick moves. So B or D, you can just do a cancel. So you never have to let it go. You can actually just cancel it. But it is also his feint animation. So you can either feint, like I said, or you can actually just press the kick button and fade it. So if a person is expecting you to let the move go or let this overhead rock, they might hesitate. And because you can cancel it, you can just dash up command grab because of the hesitation. Now the EX version is also -6 if you let both hits rock. However, you can break the first hit and make it +3. So that one is actually good as a pressure tool. So if you are going for like strike throw pressure, like let's say you do close D and you feint it, you could do something like this. And then you can still keep your turn because you are +3. Now, from a space, like I said before, if you are using these moves from spacing, you actually do get a pretty good reward on counter hit. So if you're efficient for your opponent to press a button and it does hit on counter hit, you do get a reward, and I will show that. So as you see, you do get a pretty good reward. You can go right into super and get a juggle combo that definitely hurts. And he actually does get a safe jump setup when you combine 2 of his special moves, 2 very important special moves. And I will show you the safe jump right now. So anytime you do this route, you will always be +39, and y'all know that is the secret number to get a safe jump. So now I'm going to make rock uppercut so I can show you what happens. And as y'all see, the damage output on that was absolutely insane. So your opponent's not going to want to uppercut at all when you get that safe jump, because they will just get deleted. So they're probably going to hold the mix, and then you can go for a strike throw. Now let's talk about his roll. So Kevin Ryan reminds me a lot of Abel. If y'all play Street Fighter 4 with the roll, he can roll behind you, he can get mix-ups, etc, etc. So with his roll, he goes through projectiles. So that is very good to keep your forward momentum, and if you are getting zoned out, you can still move across the screen just by rolling through the projectile. So that is very good. Same with the D version, you can roll through projectiles, and same with the EX version. Now, the thing about the EX version, there's something very important about the EX version versus the other rolls. So with rolls, you cannot roll behind the opponent. However, the EX version allows you to roll behind the opponent, so you can create like these crazy mix-up situations, especially in the corner, because your opponent's not going to be used to you going behind them. So as you see, you can get a little tricky in the corner because you can roll behind them, go for a meaty. You could roll behind them and potentially bait an uppercut. If you feel like they might get antsy or they're used to that setup, they might uppercut. And then, of course, I already showed you this character's damage output is pretty insane. So I don't think uppercut is going to be the correct answer. So Kevin Ryan is going to have 2 moves that literally launch him off the ground and pressure the opponent from the air. Now he's going to have quarter circle forward A and C, which is his hopping punch. Now, unique fact about this move's frame data actually changes depending on if the opponent is standing or crouching. So I will show you. Right now it is -3, -2, and +2. So now I will show you an example of Rock actually crouching and the frame data actually altering. You have neutral, +1, and +5, which is actually insane. So make sure when you fight Kevin Ryan, you actually stand block that jumping punch, so you do not give him more frame advantage than he deserves. On the topic of the lunging punch, the thing that it does do really well is it will hop over lows, it will hop over throws, and it can hop over low projectiles. So I'm going to have Rock throw a projectile and I'm going to hop over it. And even the feint version actually hops over projectiles too, so you don't have to commit to the whole jump. You can feint over low projectiles. Now, horizontal projectiles are a lot harder to get over and pretty inconsistent, especially against like a Hotaru or something. So you're not really going to want to do that too often. And so now I'm going to show like an example of him taking throw and show the reward that you can get off of a throw tech. So right here you see he's +6. So because of the distance on the other one gave him +9, up closer it would give him +6. Same on the EX version. And same on the C version. So all of those will give him +6. Now with +6, he really doesn't get a heavy normal because this one is 7 and this one is 8. So what does he get? He can get lights, and then you could just go into a confirm or a super from there. So as you see, pretty good damage. The reward isn't as high as the move I'm about to get into. Also to note, very important, the thing about jumping punch is it will swat the opponent out of the air. So if they are afraid of the command grab and they try to jump out, it does hit your opponent on the way up and down. So it's really good against opponents that try to jump out. I'll show you an example. And as you see, you can chase down jumps very easily with that punch. All right, so next I want to talk about his uppercut input, which is another hop-in punch, but this one just goes straight to the ground. So that light version is -2 on the A. The C version can actually cross up and it is neutral. And the EX version is +2. Now the thing about these punches, they do not alter. So no matter if your opponent is standing or crouching, the frame data will be exactly the same, and I will show that. Still -2, still neutral, and still +2. So that one won't matter as much if you are crouching or standing, but if you do stand block, it is easier to get a hyper defend because both hits will hit you and then you have an opportunity to get out. Now the good thing about this move is outside of combo routes, because it's definitely going to be used in a lot of your combo routing. The good thing about this move is when it hits and it baits a throw tech, you get a heavy reward, and I will show. And as you see, the reward is much heavier because you get a close standing C and you can go into a full route, get a safe jump, and potentially win the entire match. All right, so now Kevin Ryan's main combo starter is going to be his quarter circle forward D. It is going to launch your opponent, and usually you will see somebody go into a super and get massive amount of damage. Now the quarter circle forward B is going to be mostly a combo ender, so you can end some of your combo routes with that. But remember, you will not have the hard knockdown. That will only be on EX and command grabs. But the D version is going to be your main launcher, and it is going to primarily be after your standing D feint into a close C or just your close C, and I will show a combo route. And as you see, even without the super, you can get a little damage. And with the super, you get a lot of damage into a safe jump. So now I will also show how this character's offense actually starts and how he deletes you. The fact that this character can mix you one time and almost win the entire match is the whole kit of the character. So getting that one hit is the most important. That's why it's very good to play defensive with the character. And then when you see your opportunity, that's the time to strike. Also to note, if you don't want to commit too hard, when you do break the EX version, you are +1. So you can still keep your turn going. So just to note, if you don't always want to go for like that mix up or that command grab and you want to kind of play it safe, you'll break into the EX, be +1, and take your turn back with a crouching A. And last but not least, the reason why this character is still scary when he is up close is he comes with a command grab. Now the command grab is a hard knockdown, and if you double dash, you will get +6. Easiest way to manually time that, or auto time that, excuse me, is to just hold the rev button and hold forward, and you will always be +6. And then from there, you just go for a meaty, or you can go for another command grab, but you have to wait because this game does have throw protection. So you will not be able to continuously throw your opponent on wake up. You have to wait a couple frames and then you could throw them again. So if they're expecting the meaty, wait a little bit and then go for another command grab. And of course, just like other characters with command grabs, he comes with a EX command grab that can be comboed off of. So EX command grab can be very scary, especially for closing out a round. So just make sure you know where your opponent's SPG is, and also make sure you know your damage values. Once you know the damage values, you can actually just delete your opponent with the command grab because they are at the specific threshold. Now, I know in a lot of my videos I say do not use this sweep. This sweep is trash. It's not as good as KOF. But with Kevin Ryan, you actually can press his crouching D. It is a very good move. It steps him forward a bit, so it's easier to whiff punish with it. And if you catch it on a wild punish, you can get double sweep and you can get some Oki. Kevin Ryan is an Oki monster. He's gonna only want to have one interaction with you to win the entire game. So the key to getting really good with this character is finding out all of your Oki situations and figuring out how much damage you can cash out. So as you see, his kick super is one of the most dangerous supers in the game to get hit by because of the damage. Really doesn't scale, launches you in the air for a full combo route. But his quarter circle forward punch super is going to be able to go through projectiles with the C version if you are at a mid range. And as you see, that was a cash out for 562. That is a lot of damage. Hopefully this Kevin guy helped you guys and your Oki. The next character on my channel will be Marco, so stay tuned. Until next time, peeps, peace.